We are at the National Quartet Convention. With me, the members of Brian Free and Assurance, and sitting right next to me, Brian Free. Brian, welcome to Gospel Music Today.
Thank you, Ken. It's great to be back.
I'm going to ask you to introduce the rest of the group.
I'll be glad to. Standing directly behind me to my right is Bill Shivers, lead singer, bass singer, Jeremy Lyle, baritone singer, Derek Self.
Before we get into any of the singing part of this, you guys have been 16 years Daywind artists.
Yes.
And I guess you're getting old enough now. First grandbaby.
Yes, I do have my first grandson. Yes, I do. Very proud of my grandson, and I've got the picture right here. There's my grandson.
You guys have had Dove Award nominations this year?
Yes, sir. We had two. Was it two? Yes, two. The a cappella album and the Never Walk Alone.
Yeah, congratulations.
Ricky,
your son? Yeah, my son produced. My son Ricky produced both of those.
I'll ask you about the new CD in a minute. Let me get these guys for a second. And we've been waiting all year to find out how that baby is. That must have been the baby's television debut last year.
It was.
I believe
it was. Now she's everywhere. She climbs on everything, talks all the time. It's crazy.
It'll get worse.
That's what I hear. No, it's awesome.
I think I was glad you learned to talk.
I know.
Let me ask Jeremy, when did you know, this is taking you back a few years anyway, I guess, when did you know you were going to be a bass singer?
Well, I guess I was about 12 years old, and I called Walmart one day looking for a CD, and I asked them, do you have this certain CD? And they said, well, hang on, ma'am, let me see if we got it. And I was like, man, I want to be a bass singer.
I get that all the time.
So I prayed, and well, I don't know, I guess it happened like over a few nights, it seemed. People were calling the house thinking I was my dad. So
wow.
About 14, 15.
When did you start to sing as a bass?
Around that time. Well, before I tried to sing, but I couldn't quite do it. But it finally dropped within like a week or so, 14 or 15.
Yeah, mine did too.
Yours never.
Voice drop.
Wait, it'll get there. Let me get Bill over here. And one of the things we enjoy the most about Brian Free and Assurance, although we enjoy everything about them, is watching Bill Shivers on stage. Because whenever we have seen you, every night, you just seem to be having the time of your life.
Oh, yes, sir.
And we know you're on the road all the time. We must see you on some nights when you just wish that weekend was over and you could go home. But what keeps you up?
Sure, we get tired out here. And the roads do get long sometimes. But when we get on stage, the Lord gives us strength. And when we're up there, it's not about us. And Brian says this every night. It really isn't about us. It's about the Lord. And I don't know. It's just rejuvenating every time when you get up there and you start singing the joys of the Lord. And I want to give it everything I got every night when I get on stage. And I try. I feel like I try to do my best. And I don't know. He calls me Hoppin' Bob.
Yeah, that's the nickname, Hoppin' Bob.
Because I'm always.
You watch him, he's got the joy of the Lord.
Yeah.
Brian Free and Assurance, getting ready to record. When you're getting ready to record a new project, you must have demos and CDs stacked to the ceiling. How do you know when you've got a good Brian Free and Assurance song? What are you looking for?
We look for a lot of things. First of all, we look for songs that say something, that have some meat to them, some substance. There's enough songs out there in all forms of gospel music that really don't say anything. A lot of times you have to wait till the song's over on the radio and hear them call the artist before you even know it's a Christian song. So we first of all choose material that's scripturally sound, that truly has a message, an encouraging message, or a message of hope, a message of what Christ has done for us and the consequences to our sin, just the gospel. Try to pack as much of the gospel in a 3.5, 4-minute song as possible. It has to be well written. We have to know that we can present it on stage. In my mind, when I listen to a song and I choose it, I can see one of us four singing that song on stage that night. And if I can't visualize that, we don't cut it. Because it has to be something we can serve the people and portray to the people and just let our hearts be seen at the time that we're delivering that message. Otherwise, it's not going to be effective. But yes, we go through thousands of songs just to pick 10 on every CD.
Hardest
if you
song
ask
pitch in the
anybody
world.
in here, yes, they will tell you that Brian Free is the hardest pitch in the room.
Well, it's because we don't pick filler songs.
No,
Right.
we try.
I don't. A lot of groups will pick 2 or 3 good songs, and then they'll need 7 others to fill up the album. We don't do that. I don't want a filler song. I will not stage a filler song. We try to pick 10 singles, knowing that any one of those songs could be a single. And if you don't do that, you're shorting the people, number one, when they buy a CD, because we get a couple, 3 good songs. The rest of it's junk. And besides that, we want to be able to say something. We want the message to be the whole CD, the whole project. And that's why you have to choose them carefully.
Exactly. Now tell me about the new CD.
Our newest CD is Never Walk Alone with original material. And Never Walk Alone has been, a blessing to us. It's the title song, Never Walk Alone, was a number 1 song in gospel music. Thank you, Lord, and thank you, the people. But more than anything, and I believe this is second single, it's doing wonderfully. We may have a second number 1 if the Lord wants it to, but it doesn't. The number doesn't mean anything. More than anything, when we see these people sing these songs, we're watching them sing in the audience.
Yeah.
We get testimonies of what the songs have done, how they brought them through this, how they brought them through that, what the songs have done in ministering to their lives, and whether there was a number 1 song or a number 200 song, it doesn't matter as long as we get that. As long as we get that the music that God has given us is doing something in their lives, then that's all that counts. So it's been a great CD for us, a great CD. We look forward to singing every single song on that album every time we do it.
You have a project out now. Of course, we still refer to these things as records,
Yes.
but you have one out that actually is a record.
Yes, we do. Our record company, Daywind, we've been with them for a little over 16 years now. And we've been a group, December will be 18 years. And Daywind had talked to me a few months ago about doing a greatest hits collection. They did one, it's called A Season to Remember. I talked them into putting it on vinyl, at least a limited pressing. A lot of people like myself still have working turntables, working record players with good needles that they can get as advanced as they want to in technology as far as I'm concerned with all the digital stuff. And in the day of digital download, I know an album, maybe in some people's eyes, younger people's eyes, may be a little strange, but nothing can replace that warmth of an album. And you'd be surprised how many young people are back into vinyl. It's becoming very hot. A lot of contemporary Christian groups have been doing vinyl for 2 years. We are actually on the latter part of the curve coming in. We are the first group in this room, into the gospel to bring it back. But I believe you're going to see a huge burst in vinyl. I really do believe in the next 12 to 24 months you're going to see more of it. I can't say a huge burst. You're going to see more of it, I believe. But the record company only did 1,000 of those Season to Remembers, and they are going like crazy. People are eating them up. So it's fun.
Yeah, that is fun. What's the Brian Free and Assurance website?
Just brianfreeandassurance.com. Spell out the name of the group.com.
We'll check it out.
And we have a Facebook page also, with the same name.
Gene and I will tell you, you guys are at the top of the list for us,
Thank you,
and
man.
we appreciate
You guys are that
it.
way with us. We go back a long ways.
We do, yeah. I've
We've
sat at your
we've sat at your table and eaten a wonderful meal
Yes, we have.
That's right.
and had great fellowship.
Yes.
We appreciate it.
Appreciate
Thank
y'all.
you.
Thanks, Brian, and thanks, everyone. Brian Free
Thank
and
you to y'all
Assurance.
very much.